I'm back in. Hi you guys, my name is Cherita. Welcome to my channel. Okay, so first things first. This is going to be a rant video. Some people might call all of my videos rants, but this one is literally a rant video because I tried making like a formal video, but it didn't work. It turned into a rant. So I was like, let me just turn off my phone, my video, my camera, and we're just going to rant. So if you're here for a rant video, go ahead and keep watching. Before I get started, make sure you click subscribe for new content whenever I post. And also do not forget to click the notification bell so that you are notified every single time that I post a video. Let's get started. Wow. Okay, so this video is going to be about Olivia Jade and her Red Table Talk. So if you guys don't know, Olivia Jade is the daughter of Lori McLaughlin, Aunt Becky from Full House. So if you don't know, Aunt Becky basically bribed her children's way into USC, which is a really prestigious college. It's a college that's hard to get into if you're a regular individual. So basically, she bribed her way into this school, and Olivia is now getting all of the, the backlash from it, which I understand. Now, here's the thing, and I'm going to sound really Jada-ish for like half of a second, but don't get me wrong, I did not approve of anything that Jada had to say, because Jada was very like, well, you have to do what's best for your kids. I did the same thing for Willow, Trey, and Jaden, blah, blah, blah. Hard pause. Let's stop there. I don't know Jada's upbringing. I don't know if Jada was poor to rich. I don't know if she was rich to rich. I don't know if she was pretty to rich. I don't know her upbringing. But poor people, and by poor people, I mean 99% of the world, and rich people live completely different lives, and it's not always about race. But what Olivia experienced was 1, white privilege, and 2, class or rich privilege, however you want to put it. But Jada made it seem as if like, if Olivia wasn't rich, she still would not have reaped the benefits that she did, because white privilege is 100% a thing. And Adrienne, aka Gammy, Jada's mom, was not here for Jada's excuses about, oh, like, I would never want to be that person that like white people think we are, or whatever she said. But basically what Jada was saying is, it's not Olivia's fault, which I do not think it's Olivia's fault. However, Olivia is she's going to reap the benefits regardless. She's going to be okay. There is no reason why Olivia had to get on the Red Table Talk and have 3 black women rescue her from the poor choices that her parents made. Because if this was a black woman, a black rich woman, we're going to keep it the same class. Let's say it was Whoopi Goldberg or Tiffany Haddish or Lupita Nyong'o. And like, I'm using like strong black women that have strong personalities and strong black-like features to prove my point. Because if Whoopi Goldberg, Tiffany Haddish, Lupita Nyong'o, if they were not rich, people would look down on them as just, oh, you're just another black person. So we're going to use them. If they made the same mistake that Aunt Becky made, there's no way in the world that one of those 3 black women could have gotten on a huge platform like the Red Table Talk has, that were 3 white women, to be like, all right, tell me about your problems. It wouldn't have been the same. It would not have been the same. And so for Jada to sit there and be like, well, no. Like, that's literally like, white privilege is white privilege throughout all of the like different classes. Okay, so there's different kinds of privilege. There's race privilege, there's class privilege, there's beauty privilege, and white is always the standard. Always. It's always the standard. White people never get told you're pretty for a white girl. You have good hair for a white girl. People don't get told those things as white people. And I'm not saying no white people, no, I'm not saying no white person has never heard that, but society, like as a society, white people don't get told that because representation matters. So everything that you see on TV is like white. So regardless if Olivia was rich or not, she would have been fine. She would have been fine because of her white privilege. And let's dive into the whole she didn't understand what she was doing was wrong. Now, here's the thing. Kids don't know anything unless you tell them, right? So she probably grew up around a lot of rich white people. So when her mom was like, hey, Liv, let's take a picture of you in a canoe so we can say that you're part of the crew team, she probably was like, okay. Like, hey, Jesse, did you guys do this last week? Because we just did it. She probably thinks it's normal. Like, think of the things that you tell your kids that are true. What are the things that your kids believe? Because you told them. So they don't know any different. There's this thing that's trending on TikTok, and it's like, what did you believe that was normal in your home until you went to somebody else's house and then you realize like it's not normal. So you don't know anything outside of your bubble. So now while I'm saying is her privilege is there, but her as a child, because she was a kid at the time, her brain is still developing. She's only 21. So for her to think that it was okay, I understand that. But it's the parents that need all of the flack. But here's the thing. They talked to her way too soft. They were just like, oh, Olivia, everything's gonna be... No. She needs to understand that what she went through is not normal. It's not normal for any other American. And yes, I'm going to talk about race a lot. So there's a Black woman, and I know a lot of people will be like, well, but she was like, the mom was also selling weed or whatever. But this mom used a different address because she wanted her kid in a better school. Because let's not pretend that kids that are in impoverished, I think I made that up, areas, let's not pretend that they don't have the same kind of education as somebody with a lot of money. Those kids were born into poverty. So you're trying to tell me like, oops, sorry, I don't know what to tell you. You were born this way, so that's the education you get. So this mom is doing everything that she can to make sure that her child goes to a better school to get a better education. So then maybe that child can progress and like raise a family in a good community with a good education. That mom is in prison for like 5 years or something. And this is like an elementary kid. And so it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, that spot at this school could have been for somebody else, because it's a public school. Like elementary school is mandatory. So like everybody's going to get into that school. It's not a college where Olivia literally not only took somebody's spot, but also like an athlete spot. Like it's mind-blowing. And of course she probably thinks everybody that goes to college, they probably all have money. They probably all come from, rich parents or whatever. That's what she believes because that's how she was raised. But and then Aunt Becky goes to prison for 5 months? And then you've got people literally going to prison for years because they're doing what it takes to make sure that their child succeeds in life. But it's illegal for for poor people to do it, but when rich people do it, it's okay. That's just like, there was another thing trending on Twitter, and it was like, name something that's frowned upon when it comes to poor people, but when rich people do it, it's like amazing. Speaking more than one language. Brown people cannot speak more than one language because, and I'm talking strictly in the United States. If a brown person has broken English, but they can still speak English, and they have a second language, and their second language is wherever they're from, people are like, ew, how come you didn't learn to speak English? Ew, why do you have that accent? Blah, blah, blah. But let a European person have an accent. Oh my God, where are you from? I love your accent. Is that French? And I can't. Not only white, but if they're rich, it's even better. So it's very frustrating that the tables are always turned when it comes to poor people. I've never understood why rich people and people who have a higher status, such as cops and politicians, how come they are immune to everything? Why is that? Do you remember when the government put crack in the Black community and Black people got addicted to crack? And it was like, ew, crackheads, throw them all in jail. It's illegal. But then all these white women are at home drinking wine and taking opioids, and not all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, we need to help them. How come you can't help the crackheads? And like, people think it's very black and white, but it's not. Like, don't get me wrong, I feel for people that have addictions. I am an addict myself. But to blame, like, to look down on a crackhead, but then feel sorry for somebody who's addicted to opioids, like, you can't. Or somebody who's addicted to alcohol, or like, even people look down on people that are addicted to gambling. Like, that, it's all addiction. So it's frustrating to see 3 Black women who, if the roles were reversed, nobody, I mean, like, just look. White is the standard. White is the norm. And I will always bring up this subject. I probably say this in every video that I do, and I will continue to say it. Let's look at YouTube. This is what I do. I love YouTube. And we're going to take one specific niche of YouTube, and that's the beauty community. First of all, Black people, mostly women, spend the most on cosmetics. Who is the number 1 influencer when it comes to the makeup community? James Charles. James is white. He has like 21, 22, 23 million subscribers. And don't get me wrong, I love James. I absolutely love that. Like, I love that young man. I don't agree where he came from, but I believe that he's worked hard to get where he has. However, somebody like Jackie Aina, who Jackie Aina is the biggest Black influencer in the beauty community, and she's sitting at 3 million subscribers. 3 million. You could probably name 20 other white influencers that have more subscribers than she does. And she's been on this platform longer than all of them. Don't tell me that she gets the same amount of respect as everybody else, or that she hasn't worked as hard. Because people are like, well, maybe she should work harder. She's worked thousands of times harder than these white people have. Yet she's sitting at the bottom of the totem pole. When people such as myself or other Black commentary channels or other Black makeup channels like Audra or Amanda or Nappy-Headed Jojoba, like, there's so many of us that do the same things, but we don't get the same, respect. I'm just going to say it like it is. We don't get the same respect, nor do we get the same exposure. So I want to say thank you to Mimi. If you guys don't follow her, please go follow her. She truly appreciates people for who they are. And she shouted me out on her channel. I was not expecting it. She shouted me out and was like, I like her for who she is and what she does. But I'm sure there's a lot of people who saw that I was Black and was like, don't want to watch her. Don't care what she has to think. But here's the crazy thing. This Olivia Jade situation, I don't want to hear what white people have to say about it. I don't care what white people have to say about a white person benefiting from white privilege. Why don't you listen to what Black people have to say about this situation? Why not? It's so frustrating. Smokey Glow, love her to death. I love Hannah. More people are going to watch what she has to say about a white person benefiting from white privilege than listening to what a Black person has to say about white privilege.
Okay, future editing Cherita again. So what I meant by this is white people are going to listen to other white people and like how white privilege is beneficial, but nobody's going to listen to a Black person on how it hinders Black people. That's what I meant, because of course, like, I want to listen to somebody talk about their experience with white privilege as a white person, but this isn't about a positive experience. That's kind of what I meant. I hope it makes sense. Probably not.
Smokey Glow, she experiences the same white privilege as Olivia Jade on a smaller level, mind you, because Hannah's young. She's adorable. She's got a great voice. But people aren't going to listen to me because my skin tone, my age, how I present myself. It's so frustrating. And so when so many white people that were, oh my God, what do you guys think about Olivia Jade? I don't care. I don't care. Listen to what Black people have to say. Because if that were me, if I were to illegally enroll my child into a school, because it's illegal, you guys would be like, oh my God, everything she does is probably illegal. But the minute a rich person does it, people have this mindset is, well, I mean, she had to have done it for a reason. Like, rich people just don't go around doing illegal things for no reason. Well, maybe because she's a crook. I don't know her reasoning for doing it. Actually, I do. Her reasoning for doing it is because she knew she could get away with it. Privilege. So, yeah, it's frustrating. It's so frustrating. I don't care what white people have to say about Olivia Jade and her white privilege. I don't care what Jada has to say, because Jada just made it seem like, like the red table talk for the most part is catered for white people. And I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that she made it seem as if it was okay, or as if Aunt Becky was Black, it would have gone down the same way. It would not have gone down the same way. I mean, let's look at R. Kelly and Bill Cosby. First of all, they're both disgusting. The minute it came to like, oh, they're this type of person, put them under the jail. Everybody. Now, of course, you still have some people, mostly Black people, that are like, how come everybody waited for so long? Blah, blah, blah. Believe victims, especially when there's multiple victims. But like, look at these white people that have been doing it for years. Woody Harrelson, is that his name? Woody Allen. Why is he not under the jail?
Hi, future editing Cherita here. Okay, so we definitely just had a president for the past 4 years who has multiple sexual allegation charges against him, but like, we literally let him run the country. So don't tell me white people and Black people reap the same benefits. Not to mention, people literally tried to cancel Obama for wearing a tan suit. Tan!
Y'all still talk major loads of shit about Michael Jackson. How come y'all still ain't talking about Elvis Presley? Both of them, may they rest in peace. But people are always so quick to tear down Black people as if Black people are inherently violent or evil or whatever. Nobody is inherently, by race, They're not. That's why I hate when people say, oh, you speak so well for a Black person, as if all Black people came out the womb shucking and jiving and dyslexic and illiterate. I shouldn't have said dyslexic. I'm sorry. White is the standard. People can walk out the door, look at any white person and assume nothing but positive things about them. When it comes to Black people have to be above and beyond to get those special, like, oh my God, you're so pretty for a Black girl. Oh my God, you're so smart for a Black guy. Oh my God, it's everywhere you look, and don't tell me it's not unless you're Black. And here's the thing, I'm a very privileged person. Where I grew up, how I grew up, where I live now, I am very privileged. I can tell you all about my privileged life. But because my story is different from other people doesn't mean that I can't see. Like, I see what's going on. I see how Black people are treated different than white people. I see it. Just because I wasn't treated that way doesn't mean that it invalidates everybody else's experience. So I hate when people are like, well, it's never happened to me. And it's like, it probably hasn't, but that does not invalidate that it hasn't happened to other people. Just like this whole privilege thing. White people be like, well, I worked hard to where I got. I'm sure you did. The same Black person can do the exact same thing, but probably not succeed as much as you did based solely on the color of their skin. Like, when Black people get into colleges, and specifically Ivy League colleges, what do people say? Oh, who do you know? Or, oh, you probably got in here because of affirmative action. They got into that college because they had great grades. We're not even talking, you know what? We're going to do a whole different video about affirmative action. Affirmative action should not even be a thing, but it is. But it's not, oh, you're Black, we'll let you in. No, that Black person still had to have the same grades. That same Black person had to have the same SAT scores, ACT scores. They had to have it all. But because their name was Tyshawn, people are going to look at it and be like, no, we don't want their kind here. But affirmative action made it to be like, okay, you have to at least let 3% of Black people in your school, because that's what happens. Shantae? Nah. Okay, did you not see her list of academics? Did you not see how qualified she is to get to the school? No, because white people want to keep everything white. Convince me otherwise, please. That's my rant. I could literally talk for like another 4 hours, but I'm not going to. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. If you guys want me to really talk about the Olivia Jade table talk, like I can break down like all of the points, because this was literally just a rant that stemmed from the red table talk and turned into like a white privilege rant. I'm sorry, but that's how I felt. Let me know if you guys want me to do that. I think I already said that, but if you enjoyed this video, give me a big thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. Also, do not forget to link up with me on my social media. All of that information will be down in, And until my next video, I'll see you guys later. Bye.